Embraer's exciting E2 regional jet program is nearing completion. We're with John Slattery, who knows all about the job. John, how far behind schedule are you?
Well, Alan, we're ahead of schedule, we're under budget, and the aircraft is ahead of technical specifications. So back to the schedule specifically, we're going to enter into revenue generating service with Widerøe in Norway on the 24th of April. So we're right around 85% of the flight test program, and we're accelerating now into full certification, as I say, within 90 days.
Now that's actually very unusual to have the manufacturer being so positive about being on time. So the program all the way through seems to have gone pretty smoothly.
Yeah, it is unusual, but it's also unusual for an airframe OEM to certify 10 programs in 10 years. And that's exactly what Embraer has done. When we think about the executive jet business, we think about the defense business, and we think about the E-jets, the E1 and now the E2. So there's a tacit knowledge, a capability of program management and certification management. So it's interesting, Alan, because we haven't changed the certification target dates and entry into service dates not once since the start of the program for the 190 and the 195. So yeah, we're confident, not in an arrogant way, but just because of the capabilities of our program management team.
Okay. Now on Finn, we know that we've got a lot of viewers here that are part of the supply chain, very interested in where you're getting all of your parts from. Is Embraer extending the chain, or are you really Brazilian through and through?
Well, we're a Brazilian company. We're headquartered in Brazil, but we, for the E2 program, for all of our programs, we have suppliers right around the world. In fact, a significant percentage of the aircraft comes from not only the US but Southeast Asia. So we're a fully integrated aggregator, similar to the others. It's similar to the other OEMs. It is fair to say for the E2 program, we have increased the percentage of the aircraft that we are making in Brazil, for sure. We have increased that relative to the E1. But Alan, we continue to have vendors and critical top tier and second tier and third tier suppliers right around the world.
Okay, when we do get the delivery in April, it's a new era. What is the difference with the E2? What will you do for airlines that isn't being done at the moment? Why will airlines want to buy this aircraft?
It's a profit hunting machine. I mean, it is just going to generate an improved return on invested capital. That's it in its essence. And as airlines get more committed, more focused to the bottom line, as we have seen now in the course of the last 5 or 10 years, that's what this aircraft delivers. So at an operating level, it burns less fuel. The cost of maintenance is significantly lower because of the improvements that we've made, the lessons that we've learned on over 22 million flight hours on the E1 that have all been deployed. All those lessons have been deployed into the E2 to keep the cost of maintenance down. And of course, you're now, compared to the larger narrow bodies, you've got a trip cost that's 20% lower than an A320, but it's got a seat mile cost that's almost the same. So that's why we're calling it a revenue profit hunter for the airlines.
Okay, one thing I'm really interested in when I talk to the senior level of manufacturers and airlines is, what is it then that wakes you up in the middle of the night? What's the scary things in your job?
Yeah, well, I'm paid to be paranoid. I think about, right now, it's different things at different times, I guess. So right now, it's about ensuring the program continues on the schedule that it's at. So our shareholders are expecting us to continue to come in under budget, to continue to be on time, and our airlines want the aircraft to meet the technical specifications and perhaps even beat the technical specifications. That's what my focus is right now. That's what keeps me going. I, of course, think about sales. We need to broaden and deepen our capabilities. But let me tell you, Alan, when you study different programs that have entered into service over the course of the last 40 years, there is almost a perfect correlation between certification, the moment of certification, and new deals. So I'm excited about that, and I'm hopeful that Embraer won't let the empirical evidence of the past down. And therefore, as we cadence into the next quarter and 2 quarters, I want to see our sales force bring in more marquee names into the franchise footprint we already have.
Okay, my final point is going to be to ask you something that I thought would probably keep you awake at night, and that's the competition. The C-Series, Bombardier, and their links with Airbus recently, what does that do to you? Is that an opportunity, or is it actually a threat to you?
Well, nothing has been consummated at this point. There's a significant antitrust immunity program that those two competitors need to go through to get to the other end. For sure, it highlights the space that call it 100 to 150 seat space, which is the 190-95 in our configuration. You know, the 195 in a high density has 146 seats. So for sure, if that deal gets consummated, the Airbus marketing team, when they do start to market the aircraft, which they can't do until the transaction is concluded, will probably end up generating a lot more activity in the marketplace. And in my experience, 95% or even higher of transactions have to be competitively bid. I mean, airlines have fiduciary responsibilities to their shareholders, be them private or be them the government. And in the event that there are campaigns and the C-Series is brought in by Airbus, my expectation is that the airlines will invite Embraer. And these would be to accounts perhaps that today we don't have a natural franchise footprint. We already have 70 customers with the E-Jet in over 50 countries around the world. So net, I can see an opportunity because of that transaction for more opportunities for Embraer. But time will tell, Alan. There's a lot of water to go under the bridge between here and antitrust immunity, which whenever that happens later next year or maybe even beyond. But again, no marketing by Airbus of that aircraft can happen in the marketplace until any transaction is consummated. So let's see how that plays out. Regardless of who's marketing the aircraft, at the end of the day, it's a nose-to-nose competition between the C-Series and the E2. I'll back the E2 every day.